Hi everyone, a very warm welcome back to Mec-Tec. We're back out in the garden today, as you can see, and we are going to be doing the roof on the new workshop. We've got some underfelt and we've got some top felt. We've got some adhesive. I'm hoping we're going to have enough here. I may have to get some more felt because it's quite a big roof. So without further ado, let's crack on and get this thing watertight. Rightio, so this is the stuff I'm going to be using. It's the super black shed felt and the trade underlay. I've also got the felt adhesive there as well. Now that stuff you have to put on with a brush or a roll. I've got a brush. Leave it for 15 minutes to go a little bit tacky, and then you can obviously roll the felt on. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to measure on the roof where I need to go up to with the adhesive, get that put on, and then I can, while that's tacking up for 15 minutes, I can then cut my first piece of felt to go on there. And obviously once I've cut that, it should be about right time to obviously get that laid on there, and it will stick nicely, hopefully. I'm hoping I can get the underlay on at least today, so at least it's sort of semi watertight, and then obviously then we've got a bit more time to spend on the top coat, top layer I should say, to obviously get it looking nice. So I've got one half of the roof uncovered, as you can see there, so I'm going to go ahead and get that adhesive on, and then obviously then we can cut our felt to length and go from there. Right, with that first strip on the roof painted with the adhesive, that's now obviously going off for about 15 minutes. I'm going to get the first strip of underfelt cut to length. Obviously I want a little bit of an overhang either end, so I'm probably going to obviously go a little bit over and cut it back after if I need to. And then obviously we can get that stuck on. So I'm going to get this cut. I won't bother filming that, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to measure it out and cut it, and then we can get it laid on the roof and keep going. Right. This has been tacking up for about 15 minutes now, so I'm going to start laying the felt on. Hopefully it will stick. Now I'm going to nail it around the edges, obviously not in the middle though. I don't want any nails on the top of the roof. I'm only going to nail it around the edges where obviously the water can't get in. That's the plan. That's how I did it before and it worked really well. So let's see how this goes. Where I'll get bitumen paint all over me. Try and get one section of it in the right position first of all. Then you know roughly where you've got to be. Then you've got to push it all down. He's running off a bit that way, so I need to move the ladder. Tricky this, because I'm in the right position I was. Stepped wrong. I'm trying not to jog these trees as well, because obviously I don't want to get a tree all over my roof. Not playing really well at the moment. that is roughly where it wants to be. There's a hump in the middle. What is that? I'm going to push this side down first. And then try and get that hump out a little bit. I'm moving it along as I go. Should lay flat then, hopefully. Remember, this is the underlayer, so it's not as critical. And we assume this shed is not exactly square. There's a surprise, eh? So basically this is what I'm going to do over the whole roof now. I'm going to keep repeating the process. Obviously overlapping the joints going this way, so when the water runs down, it runs from the top layer onto the next layer down and so on until it gets to the edge of the roof. And hopefully that should make our nice new workshop watertight. Now I'm not concerned with too much with the ends at the moment. I'm just going to leave them hanging. I just want to get the main part of the roof done, so at least I know we're covered if it does start hammering down the rain, which is entirely possible, as you can probably well imagine. So I'm going to carry on with this, and I'll come back to you when I've had a bit more progress. Right, little update on where we're at. That side is now done, up to obviously near the middle. This side has got the first strip on it. I did actually run out of felt, so I've had to go and get some more. So I've got another 2 rolls of felt now, 1 more underlay and 1 more top coat, so I should have enough to finish it now. So I'm going to get that last strip of underlay on. Same again, put the glue down, let it tack off for 15 minutes and then stick it down, and then we should be onto that very last strip in the middle, which I haven't decided whether I'm going to do a full strip or whether I'm going to cut it in half, because obviously it seems a bit of a waste to do a full strip, but then obviously having said that, it is more protection, so not decided on that yet. Obviously it's going to take a lot more adhesive to glue down another full strip, so I might just do a half strip and overlap it, obviously enough as it needs to cover that middle joint, and that should be good enough, I would think. So I'm going to crack on, get this last strip done, and then we should be somewhere near it. Rightio, as you can see there now, that is all the underfelt on there. I've painted all the joins, as you can see as well. So now it is time to put on the top layer. Now, obviously I'm going to stagger the joins on this because I don't want all the joins to be in the same place. So what I've done is I've cut the outside strips down by 200mm. So rather than being a metre, they're only 800, and that will allow them to then step back a little bit. And then obviously the joins will be slightly staggered, and obviously what I'm going to do as well is, rather than cut the centre one down like I did on the underlay, I'm going to leave it a full width sheet. So I've cut the 2 sides down instead, keep the middle one full width, and then that will stagger all the joins. It should be absolutely superb. So without further ado, let's crack on, get this top layer on, and make sure this thing is never going to leak. Right, rain has stopped play on the roof, as you probably would have seen from that bit of time lapse. So I've started on the doors. Now, as I said in a previous clip, I think I've taken off the hardware, most of it apart from that, because the doors were actually mounted up the wrong way originally. The big footer was actually at the top. It should have been at the bottom. So I've spun this one over, got it hung. I've just mirrored the hinges to the other side. You can see where the holes were on this side, obviously where it used to open outwards. I've made it open inwards, so that now obviously closes and opens without interfering with that concrete down there. So that works pretty well. I know obviously it blocks off some of the door, but it still gives me full width further up if I want to get anything wider in here, so that's okay. Unfortunately, the door where it's been up the wrong way has been worn or cut to shape. As you can see, it doesn't quite fit the frame all the way along, but it is what it is, unfortunately, so there's not much I can do about that. But it seems to work alright, as you just saw there. So I've just got to get the other one done now. I've just taken the beading off this side because the beading was around the wrong way, because this one used to open the other way around. So obviously this one stayed shut, but it was flipped over, so it was, the bead was around the wrong way for this one to open first, if that makes sense. So I'm going to get the hinges marked up, or swapped over on this door, get them marked up on there. I can just mirror the holes again. You can see where they were on there, mirror them to this side, and then we'll have a pair of doors that open inwards, which should be absolutely marvellous. Let's carry on. Rightio, with the roof now complete, as you can see there. Just get up and show you. We are on to putting on the wood on the front. Show you what we've got up here. So that's what we've ended up with. Looks nice and neat. Nice neat joins. You would have seen I did masking tape down the joins. So I've got a nice bit of neat paint going along there. There's a couple of little bits that have splurged out, but nothing really. That there is water, so that's not paint. I've just gone along and run my hand over the joins again to make sure they're all stuck down, and they seem to be okay. So that is really good. So I'm pleased with that. So I'll just show you what I've got. This is the wood that we've got. Just some sawn timber to go on the front there and to go on the back as well. We're going to cut that to length now, cut the diagonal in the right place, or the angle in the right place I should say, and then we can get that fitted up there and get it painted green to match the rest of it. Let's carry on. Rightio, there is our first two roof trims made, cut to fit and painted. They're going to go on the front of the felt here, and then we can trim the felt along the back of them so you won't see any of that. So I need to make two more of these now for the back. Before I fit these ones, I'm going to use them as a template, get them made, get them painted so they can be drying whilst I'm fitting these ones. Let's carry on. Right, before I went ahead and screwed them fascias on, I've actually done a bit of reinforcing, because before it only had the ends of these joists under here to screw into, which is where I've obviously tacked the felt, and there wasn't really any, well, there was nothing in between. So what I've done is I've put some nogs in between all the way along from some of the offcuts of wood that I had, and that now gives me a complete platform to effectively screw the fascias to. So I can screw along wherever I want along the front there now, and I'll obviously have something to grab onto, which is really good. So I'm going to drill a few holes in these fascias now so they don't split, and then we can get them screwed on, and then we can get the felt trimmed back, and it will look absolutely marvellous. Right, there we go. That is the front trim on the roof done. Pretty easy job to do. The other two are in there, as you can see, because it did start to spit with rain as I put the second coat of paint on, which is typical. So basically I'm going to get those ones put on the back exactly the same as what you've just seen here. It's going to be very difficult to film around there, so I'm probably not going to film that. It's the same as what you've just seen me do anyway, so that's pretty self-explanatory. I need to make a little sort of star or diamond or something to go in the middle to cover that join, and then that should be the outside as far as woodwork complete. All we've got to do is fill those gaps in underneath the canopy there with some decent bit of wood, and we can put the new well, not the new, but put the original trim pieces back on, which is just these bits down here. You can see I've got notches cut out of them. All the junk that's on top of them. I've got these notches that are cut out to go around those joists. But I want to put something decent behind it first, because as you can see, it only had those nails holding it on the very lower piece of it, and the rest of it wasn't really attached to anything. So I want to put something a bit more substantial in those gaps, stop any wildlife and stuff getting in, and it will keep it a bit warmer hopefully as well, because it won't just be a thin bit of wood from the inside to the outside. It'll be something a bit more substantial, as I say. Just notice a bit of wood splintering off there. I have to give that a coat of paint. Yeah, the doors are on, as you can see. I don't know if I've said this earlier in the video or not. I'll just show you. They both obviously close. This one is completely out of shape at the top, and this one is a little bit twisted, so that obviously you can see that it's hitting the bottom there, sticking out at the top there. But if you push it, it does go in, so the actual door itself is twisted. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that yet. It may be that I just have to put a bolt or something at the top here to hold that in position, and over time it might sort itself out with a bit of dampness and whatever in the weather. But yeah, that's my solution for the doors. They're both opening inwards now. As you can see, I've switched them around and flipped them over so that the proper proper footer pieces at the bottom and the thinner header pieces at the top, so they are around the correct way now. Whoever put them on the shed beforehand put them up the wrong way. So they are on. So effectively now we are fully weather tight, which is absolutely superb. Means we can just finish off those final few little bits, and then we can get onto the inside and start getting electrics in and panelling it out and lights and all the rest of it, and it should be absolutely superb. Top banana. Right then, there we go. That is the outside of the new workshop now complete, apart from a few little bits of trim on the door handles and actually a lock and things like that. But as you can see there, all the underside of there has had 2 coats all the way along, so all the matches in there nice now. The sides have had 3 coats to match the rest of the outside of the workshop. The doors have had 3 coats. I didn't do 3 under there, I just did 2 because obviously that's not going to get wet under there because it is under the canopy. There are tons of flies out here, it's really annoying. So it is looking really, really good. I'm really, really pleased with that. It's come out really well. Top banana. Right then, that is going to be it for this episode on Mec-Tec. As you can see, we have now got the exterior of the workshop complete. It is all ready to go as far as getting the inside electric sorted out and boarding it all out inside, getting some shelving and some workbench space in there and getting all my stuff in there. So hopefully it won't be too much longer before it all gets sorted out. Obviously need to sort out a few bits on the doors, get the lock put on there, that sort of thing. But considering what those doors did look like, they actually look really quite good now. They've had a couple of coats of paint, so that's it's quite good, yeah. Pleased with that. I've got a few tar spots on there I've got to get off, which is where it's dripped off the roof, where I've obviously done the felting work, but there we go, that's one of those things, you can't really avoid that. If you do like what you see, make sure you do 4 things for me: like, subscribe, share and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it really, really helps me out on the channel. There are literally tons of flies above my head at the moment. I don't know if you can see them in the camera, so I'm going to have to be quick about this. Remember, I've got Instagram, Mec_Tec1985, and I've got Facebook, Mec-Tec, little sneak peeks during the week of what I'm up to. And also, when you watch this, I will be on a plane going to Canada, so there won't be a video next week. I'm having a week off, first time in about 2 years, so I've done all right, I think, for not having a week off up to now. So obviously don't expect a video next week because there won't be one unless I find something really, really interesting to film while I'm in Canada, in which case I'll film it and obviously then you'll see it the following week. So there we go. Remember to obviously like and subscribe. I did say over 65% of my viewers are subscribed, so please, please, please make sure you hit that subscribe and the like button. I really would appreciate it. All I have for me to say is thank you very much for watching, and if you want to join me soon for more carpentry capers or automotive ventures, I'll see you again next time. Cheers guys.